how to watch the franchise in order, and where to stream the movies. IT, welcome to Derry, the latest episode in the horror franchise, launched on HBO Max on October 26th. Get ready to head back to Derry. 6 years after the last time Pennywise appeared on screen in the film at Chapter 2, 2019, the dancing clown is returning in the new series IT. Welcome to Derry. The fresh cast of the HBO Max program includes Taylor Page, Jovan Adipo, Blake Cameron James, Chris Chalk, James Remar, Stephen Ryder, Madeline Stowe, and Rudy Mancuso, with Bill Skarsgård returning the role of Pennywise. Expected 27 years before the events of it, 2017, the series is expected to explore a new aspect of Pennywise, Skarsgård added. It was fun, the actor told Happy Sad Confused podcast host Josh Horowitz in December 2024. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, actually, and there's parts of it where we got to explore sides of old Pennywise that we haven't seen. And that's fun. Ready to see the films and new prequel series? Here's everything you need to know about how to watch the movies in order. Welcome to Derry 2025. The new series will be set in Derry in 1962, 27 years before the first film takes place. Andy Muschietti, who directed the original movie and is a co-developer of the new series, addressed the crowd during New York Comic Con in October 2025, as reported by The Hollywood Reporter, how he looked at the interludes in Stephen King's horror novel as the source of inspiration for the series. This has a function in the book, obviously. It told me about a puzzle that was purposefully unresolved in the book. Stephen King creates all these enigmas and large question marks to build tension, but for me, it was like, what if this is a blueprint for a different story? Muschietti explained. In the novel's interludes, Mike Hanlon is told by his father about the early sightings of it, which inspires him to investigate and research the history through conversations with the older citizens of Derry. He wrote all this. The interviews are documented. That is a product of his inquiry, which is a very fragmented document where he combines all the experiences of individuals in the past, and where he attempts to basically figure out what it is, but it's inconclusive. He continued, "We are left with more questions than answers." Muschietti described the program as telling a hidden story, a story that is not told forward, but a story that is told backward and has a final conclusion, the events in which it becomes Pennywise. Watch IT. Welcome to Derry on HBO Max. 2017. It takes place in the summer of 1989 and concentrates upon a gang of outcast adolescents less than a year after the terrible abduction of Georgie Denbrough. Still troubled by his younger brother's disappearance, Bill Denbrough and his friends, who named themselves the Losers Club, begin to investigate matters, only for them to each soon be tormented by multiple versions of Pennywise. After some study, they decide that it is playing on their greatest fears and returns every 27 years to feed on the children of Derry before going back into hibernation in the sewers. The film stars Jaden Lieber, Bill, Jeremy Ray Taylor, Ben Hanscom, Sophia Lillis, Beverly Marsh, Finn Wolfhard, Richie Tozier, Chosen Jacobs, Mike Hanlon, Jack Dylan Grazer, Eddie Kasprack, and Wyatt Olaf, Stan Uris. Watch it on HBO Max. Chapter 2, 2019. After pursuing different lives, the losers are reunited in Derry 27 years after the disastrous summer of 1989 in Chapter 2, when Pennywise makes a comeback. Although they are grown up, the return of Pennywise brings up awful memories from their past that they have to fight through to beat him for good. Once again, the losers are forced to confront their anxieties being embodied by Pennywise. The film stars James McAvoy, Bill, Jay Ryan, Ben, Jessica Chastain, Beverly, Bill Hader, Richie, Isaiah Mustafa, Mike, James Ransone, Eddie, and Andy Bean, Stan. Watch it Chapter 2 on HBO Max. That franchise has evolved from a single Stephen King novel into one of modern horror's most influential sagas, spanning decades of storytelling about fear, trauma, and the darkness lurking beneath small-town America. Each adaptation, 2017, Chapter 2, 2019, and now Welcome to Derry 2025, has expanded this mythology while reflecting the anxieties of its era. The 2017 film redefined King adaptations, blending nostalgic coming-of-age storytelling with intense horror, while introducing a new generation to Pennywise's terror. Chapter 2 ambitiously closed the circle, exploring how childhood fears evolve into adult trauma, though its sprawling scope diluted some of the intimacy that made the first film so effective. Now, Welcome to Derry arrives as both continuation and reinvention. By setting the story in 1962, it pushes the franchise into fresh thematic territory, using the racial and cultural tensions of the era as a backdrop to explore how fear itself becomes systemic and cyclical. Its focus on a Hanlon family and Derry's early history suggests a more layered narrative that could deepen our understanding of Pennywise's origins and the evil embedded in the town's history. As the franchise shifts from blockbuster horror to serialized storytelling, it faces a delicate balance, maintaining tension and mystery while offering enough revelation to feel meaningful. If done well, the series could not only enrich the universe, but also cement Pennywise as one of cinema's most complex and enduring symbols of fear. In essence, it is no longer just a monster story. It's a generational myth about how evil repeats itself, how communities enable it through silence, and how courage and unity are the only forces strong enough to confront it. With Welcome to Derry, the franchise has an opportunity to remind audiences why Pennywise still floats in our collective nightmares, and why Derry's dark heart continues to beat generation after.